In the bustling hallways of Lincoln High School, where laughter echoed like distant thunder and whispers cut like hidden blades, a single moment shattered the fragile illusion of normalcy for young Amelia Hart. It was her first day as the new girl, transferred mid-semester after her family's abrupt move to escape the shadows of her father's lost job and her mother's quiet battles with illness, and she walked those corridors with the tentative steps of someone trying desperately to blend into the wallpaper. But fate, cruel and unyielding, had other plans. As Amelia navigated the crowded lunch rush, her modest skirt swaying gently with each step, a group of popular seniors, led by the sharp-tongued queen bee, Vanessa, whose perfect smile hid a heart armored in insecurity, spotted her like predators sensing weakness. With a swift, mocking yank that echoed through the hall like a gunshot, Vanessa's hand gripped the hem of Amelia's skirt and pulled it down in one fluid, humiliating motion, exposing her to the gasps and giggles of onlookers, the fabric pooling at her ankles as time seemed to freeze in a vortex of shame and disbelief. The laughter that followed was a tidal wave, crashing over Amelia's soul, leaving her standing there, vulnerable and exposed, her cheeks burning with the fire of 1,000 unspoken judgments, her world crumbling in that instant of raw, unfiltered cruelty. If you believe in the power of kindness and the beauty of second chances, hit that like button right now, drop a comment sharing your own story of overcoming adversity, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe to Kindness Speaks for more tales that remind us all why empathy matters. Let's spread the light together. Amelia's heart pounded in her chest like a trapped bird as she hastily pulled her skirt back up, her fingers trembling so violently that the simple act felt like scaling a mountain, the jeers and smartphone flashes capturing every agonizing second for eternity. She had always been the quiet type, the girl who found solace in books and sketches rather than crowds, her family's recent hardships etching deep lines of worry into her young face, making her feel like an outsider even before this nightmare unfolded. Back home in her old town, she had friends, true ones, who saw her gentle spirit as a strength, but here, in this unfamiliar labyrinth of lockers and judgmental eyes, she was just the new girl, the easy target whose skirt mishap would become the fodder for endless memes and whispers. Vanessa and her clique sauntered away, high-fiving each other as if they had conquered some great battle, their laughter fading into the distance but leaving behind a scar on Amelia's psyche that no amount of time could immediately heal. She fled to the bathroom, locking herself in a stall where the cold tile walls seemed to close in, her sobs muffled by her hands as tears streamed down her face, each one carrying the weight of her isolation, her fear that this moment would define her forever in a school where reputation was currency and vulnerability was bankruptcy. The days that followed blurred into a haze of dread for Amelia, each morning a reluctant march into the arena where bullies roamed freely, their words sharper than any physical pull. Whispers followed her like shadows, "Skirt Girl," they called her, the nickname spreading like wildfire through group chats and social media, turning her humiliation into a viral spectacle that she couldn't escape even in the supposed safety of her classes. Teachers, oblivious or overwhelmed, turned blind eyes to the subtle torments, notes slipped into her locker with crude drawings, shoulders bumping her in the halls with feigned accidents, and the constant undercurrent of giggles whenever she entered a room. Amelia's grades, once her pride, began to slip as concentration eluded her, her mind replaying that fateful yank over and over, a loop of embarrassment that eroded her confidence like acid rain on stone. At home, she hid it all behind forced smiles for her parents, who were already burdened with financial strains and health worries, her mother's chemotherapy sessions draining their savings and her father's endless job hunts draining his spirit, knowing that revealing her pain would only add to their load, making her feel even more alone in a world that suddenly felt too heavy to bear. Yet, beneath the surface of her crumbling facade, a flicker of resilience began to stir, born from the quiet moments when Amelia would retreat to the school's art room after hours, her pencils dancing across paper to capture the emotions she couldn't voice. She drew scenes of stormy seas and lone figures standing against the wind, channeling her hurt into creations that whispered of inner strength, reminders that even the most battered ships could find harbor. It was in these solitary hours that she met Mr. Ellis, the art teacher whose kind eyes saw through her pretense, his gentle encouragement like a lifeline thrown into turbulent waters, urging her to express the pain rather than bury it. But the bullying intensified, Vanessa's clique escalating the games with fake social media accounts posting edited photos of Amelia's mishap, captions twisting the knife deeper with lies about her character, turning the school into a pressure cooker of judgment where friends were scarce and enemies plentiful. Amelia's nights became sleepless marathons of anxiety, her pillow soaked with tears as she questioned her worth, wondering if the move had cursed her to this fate, her dreams haunted by the echo of laughter that drowned out any hope of normalcy. The turning point crept in slowly, like dawn breaking through a long night, starting with a small act of defiance that Amelia herself didn't fully recognize at first. One afternoon in the cafeteria, as Vanessa approached with her entourage, their eyes gleaming with anticipation for another round of torment, Amelia felt something snap inside her, a fragile thread of patience giving way to a surge of raw emotion that had been building like a storm cloud. Instead of shrinking away as she always had, she locked eyes with Vanessa, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands, recounting in her mind the countless times she had rehearsed this moment in front of her mirror at home, practicing words that now flowed unbidden. The confrontation unfolded not with shouts or violence, but with a quiet intensity that silenced the surrounding tables, Amelia speaking of the pain behind the laughter, the human cost of their cruelty, her words painting a picture of her family's struggles and her own silent battles that made the skirt yank feel like the final blow in a series of heartbreaks. Vanessa, caught off guard, faltered for the first time, her perfect mask cracking to reveal the insecurities that fueled her own meanness, whispers of her parents' divorce and the pressure to maintain an image of invincibility that left her hollow inside. Word of the standoff spread like ripples in a pond, students who had once laughed now pausing to reflect, some even approaching Amelia with tentative apologies or shared stories of their own hidden pains, forging unexpected alliances in the wake of her bravery. But it was the video, captured by a bystander on their phone and uploaded to social media without Amelia's knowledge, that catapulted the incident into the viral stratosphere, hashtags like #StandUpToBullies and #KindnessWins trending as viewers from around the world shared their reactions, turning Amelia's personal hell into a beacon of hope for others enduring similar trials. The clip showed not just the yank and the confrontation, but the raw emotion in Amelia's eyes, the vulnerability that resonated with millions, sparking discussions in classrooms and living rooms about the hidden scars of bullying and the power of one voice to ignite change. School administrators, finally stirred into action by the online uproar, implemented anti-bullying workshops and counseling sessions, while Vanessa, facing the mirror of her actions reflected back through the viral lens, sought redemption in private apologies and a gradual shift toward empathy, her clique dissolving as members grappled with their roles in the cruelty. As the weeks turned into months, Amelia transformed from the broken new girl into a symbol of resilience, her art evolving to include vibrant pieces that celebrated overcoming adversity, displayed in school exhibitions that drew crowds and even local media attention. Friendships blossomed where isolation once reigned, with peers like shy bookworm Liam and outspoken activist Sophia forming a support circle that reminded her she was no longer alone, their shared lunches and study sessions weaving a tapestry of belonging that mended the tears in her heart. Her family, learning of the ordeal through the viral video, rallied around her with renewed strength, her mother's health improving slightly under the warmth of community support that poured in, donations easing their financial burdens and allowing her father to secure a stable job nearby. Amelia's confidence grew like a flower pushing through concrete, her steps in the hallways now purposeful, her smile genuine as she mentored younger students facing their own bullies, turning her pain into purpose and proving that from the depths of humiliation could rise an unshakable spirit. The story of Amelia Hart didn't end with triumph alone. It lingered in the quiet reflections of those who witnessed it, a reminder that bullying's chains could be broken not by force, but by the courageous act of standing tall amid the storm. In the end, as the viral waves subsided and life at Lincoln High settled into a kinder rhythm, Amelia looked back on that fateful yank not as a curse, but as the catalyst that unveiled her inner warrior, inspiring her to pursue a future in advocacy, where her voice would continue to echo for the voiceless. And in that transformation, the world saw a glimpse of true humanity. The fragile beauty of falling and rising again, stronger and more compassionate than before. If this story has touched your heart, stirred memories of your own struggles, or reminded you of the profound impact one act of kindness can have, please like this video, leave a comment below sharing how it moved you, and subscribe to Kindness Speaks for more emotional journeys that celebrate the human spirit. Your engagement means the world and helps spread these messages far and wide. Before we wrap up, I have a special request. In the comments, share the line, "Kindness speaks louder than cruelty." If you believe in turning pain into power, let's fill the section with that powerful affirmation and inspire even more hearts.